My brothers in faith and my sisters, Allah the Exalted and the Most High, He says in His noble book that indeed the knowledge of the hour is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that sends down the rain. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that knows what is in the wombs. And no soul knows what he will earn tomorrow. And no soul knows upon what land he will die. Indeed, Allah is the most knowledgeable and all-knowing of these affairs. لا يدري الإنسان بأي أرض يموت وهل يموت بأرضه أو خارج أرضه أو يموت في البحر أو يموت في الجو. No soul knows when that soul will die. Nobody knows. Will he die in his city, or will he die upon his travels? Will he die upon land, or will he die upon the sea? Nobody knows. And when we look and analyze what we see in this world, then these are the verses that we reflect when we see it with Ayn al-Yaqeen. I mentioned this to you, my brothers and my sisters, for indeed I had relatives that traveled abroad for a wedding, and due to a horrific accident and their van falling down off the cliff, 5 of them have died and returned back to Allah Azza wa Jal. They went to another land while they used to reside in this land. They went for a purpose of a wedding, and they have not returned. This is the nature of our lives. We must reflect. We do not know when and where we will die. فإذا كنت لا تدري بأي أرض تموت فكذلك لا تعلم متى تموت. If you do not know which land you will die, then that means you do not know when you will die. As Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned in the Quran, وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ, that every nation has its appointed term, meaning the lifespan that you have. فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. And when their term, that appointed time that Allah has given you to live, when that is reached, neither can you delay it or neither you can advance it by a single hour. قال الحسن البصري رحمه الله تعالى لا تكرهوا البلايا الواقعة والنقمات الحادثة. Hasan al-Basri rahimullah ta'ala, he says, do not dislike the calamity that befalls you, those discomforts that occur. فَلَرُبَّ أَمْرٍ تَكْرَهُ فِيهِ نَجَاتَكَ. Perhaps that which you are disliking, within it is your salvation. That which is occurred that you may dislike, there may be in it your salvation in this life and the hereafter. وَلَرُبَّ أَمْرٍ تُؤْثِرُهُ تُحِبُّهُ حَلَاكَكَ. And perhaps there may be an affair that you are affected by and you love, but in it is your destruction. قال الله عز وجل وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Perhaps that you may dislike a matter, but it is good for you. وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌّ لَكُمْ. And you may love an affair or like something, but it is evil for you. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows and you do not know. رواه الترمذي وصححه شيخ الباني رحمه الله تعالى من حديث أنس بن مالك رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أراد الله بعبد الخير عجل له العقوبة في الدنيا. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends good for his slave, then Allah azza wa jal hastens in this dunya, brings about a trial or a punishment for him in this life, because Allah azza wa jal wants khair for him. وَإِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِالشَّرِّ فإذا أراد الله بعبده الشر مسك عنه بذنبه حتى يوافيه يوم القيامة. And when Allah does not intend good for a slave, then the sin that he is upon, Allah leaves him upon it, and he will judge him upon that sin on that great day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day of standing. The shahid, my brothers and my sisters, is that we're going to get tested. And sometimes that test is so heavy we don't know where to turn. And then the shaitan comes and puts doubts in our hearts regarding Allah. Why me? Why my family? But know that Allah Azza wa Jal is most merciful. We do not know that the nature that you may die in is a reason for you to enter paradise. As the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam has mentioned regarding the one that drowns, the one that is under a falling building, the one that dies from stomach issues, disease. These are all martyrs. And some of the ulama, they even said, from them Sheikh bin Baz rahimallahu ta'ala, that even the one that dies in a car crash that rolls over is in the same hukam as the one that the building has fallen under. Allahu a'lam, he said. But there are things that we get tested, we don't know. There may be things that we get tested with and we despair. But thereon after, that test has made us better Muslims. That test makes us go back to Allah. That test that makes us reflect, oh Allah, you have given me a chance. Oh Allah, you have covered my sin. And then you go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. رواه الترمذي أيضا من حديث أنس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن عظم الجزاء ما لعظم البلاء وإن الله عز وجل إذا أحب قوما ابتلاهم. صححه شيخ ALBANI رحمه الله تعالى. Imam Tirmidhi, he narrates upon the hadith of Anas that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that the greater reward comes with the greater calamity. How greater your calamity is, then the greater the reward is with Allah. We do not know. Allah knows. Sometimes we see things of what happens to our brothers and our sisters, and we think that subhanallah, it is wrong. Subhanallah, look at the wrong that has happened to them. What we see in our brothers in Gaza now and our sisters, and across the other world where the Muslims are being murdered and punished. We don't know. Maybe from that they will be the ones that will be in a higher rank in Jannah than me and you. We do not know. But we know one thing. Allahu arhamar rahimin. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most merciful. So on that note, when we know that at any time we can go at any place, every single day we should be aware of that point. حديث ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنهما أخرجه الحاكم في المستدرك وصححه شيخ ALBANI رحمه الله تعالى في صحيح الجامع. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اجتنب خمسا قبل الخمس شبابك قبل الحرمك وصحتك قبل سقمك وغناءك قبل فقرك وفراغك قبل شغلك وحياتك قبل موتك. A tremendous hadith, my brothers and my sisters, where the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, take advantage of 5 before 5. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, take advantage of your youth before your old age. Take advantage means mother. What does it mean? There are many things, it is broad. Looking from the top of the list is your ibadah, your righteous actions, what you have the ability to do good and the ibadah. So take advantage of your youth before your old age. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, take advantage of your health before your illness and your sickness. How we can relate to that. There are certain things from the bounties of Allah. He gives you good health. He gives you the ability to walk, to prostrate, to go down into sajda. And when you are not even allowed or don't have the ability to go down into sajda, then you remember the days that you used to prostrate to Allah one day, and now you're no longer to do that. When you walk to the masjid, when you walk to perform the umrah and the hajj, but then you come, your sickness takes over, and you are no longer having that ability, then you reflect upon these beautiful words of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Take advantage of your richness before your poverty. Utilize that richness that Allah has given you for good, because there will come a day when Allah will take it away from you. That wealth that Allah has given you, don't use it to be obedient slaves to the shaitan. Use it to be obedient slaves to Allah. He gave you that wealth, and by Allah you will be questioned regarding that wealth. So whatever you have by way of richness, use it in the manner and the way for Allah Azza wa Jal. Your free time, there will come a time when you're going to be preoccupied, and you're going to wish that you utilize that time to put forth actions to Allah Azza wa Jal. Wa hayata qabla mawtik. Utilize what you have by way of your life you are living, regardless whatever state you are in, whatever health that you are in, whatever status of richness you are in, you can always do what is in your ability. Because there's going to come a time when you're no longer going to be able to do that. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam يدعوننا إلى اغتنام الفرص من زمن المحلة ويخبرنا أن من فرط في ذلك قد يأتي زمان يتمناه. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave us this tremendous nasiha to take advantage of these things before there comes a time where you are no longer, meaning the expired time. There are particular things that we can do at a particular time when we have particular ability. Once that's gone, you won't be able to return that back. As they say, inna ba'da kulli shababin haram, that after every adolescence there comes old age. After every health there comes sickness. After every richness there will come poverty. And after every spare time then you will be preoccupied. And after life always there comes death. فَمَنْ فَرَطَ فِي عَمَلِ أَيَّامِ الشَّبَابِ لَمْ يُدْرِكُوا فِي أَيَّامِ الْحَرَمِ. Remember this, my brothers and my sisters, that action that should have been done and was neglected in your youth, you're not going to be able to make that up in your old age. That which you neglected when you was healthy, you're not going to be able to do that in the time of your sickness. That which you neglected to do while you was rich, you're not going to be able to do that in the state of poverty. And that which you neglected in your spare time, that time has gone. When you're preoccupied, you're not going to be able to do that. وَمَنْ فَرَطَ الْعَمَلَ فِي زَمْنِ الْحَيَاةِ لَمْ يُدْرِكُهُ بَعْدَ حَيْلُولَةِ الْمَمَاتِ. And those actions that you could have done while you were alive, you will not be able to do once you have returned back to Allah Azza wa Jal. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us reflect, and may Allah Azza wa Jal give us the qudra, the health and the strength and the understanding to be able to do these righteous deeds while our heart still pumps. Ameen. Wa sallallahu wa barik ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wal aqibati lil muttaqeen. Wa la udwana illa ala zalimin. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tasliman mazida. أما بعد فعند ذلك يتمنع الرجوع وقد فات. There will come a time that a person will want to return to the time where he was able, but that chance has then gone. As the ulama say, وَعَظَمُتْ حَسَرَاتُهُ حِينَ لَا تَنْفَعْ حَسَرَاتٍ. And he said at that time, his sadness and his grief will be great. But that great grief at that time will not benefit him. As we understand from the statement of Allah Azza wa Jal, حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَحَدَهُمُ الْمَوْتِ. And when death will come to one of them, قَالَ رَبِّ ارْجِعُونَ. He will say, "Oh Allah, take me back. لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا فِي مَا تَرَكْتُ." Oh Allah, take me back. Let me now have the opportunity to work those righteous actions that are left off. This is where the nidama, this is when he's remorseful and regretful. Take me back, Allah. كَلَّا إِنَّهَا كَلِمَةٌ هُوَ قَائِلُهَا. Allah will then say on that great day, these are mere words that you utter. وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِمْ بَرْزَقٌ إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. And then Allah mentions in that verse, goes on to say that once they have gone from this life, that the only thing behind them then is the barzakh, is the life of the hereafter. So these are things that we must reflect. We cannot, and we beg Allah, oh Allah Azza wa Jal, you are most merciful. Do not make us from those who are regretful and plead to come back because we were neglectful in this world. قال الله عز وجل ولو ترى إذ المجرمون ناكسوا رؤوسهم عند ربهم. And if you was to see the wrongdoers when they will hang their heads in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regretful, and then they will say, رَبَّنَا أَبْصَرْنَا وَسَمِعْنَا فَارْجِعْنَا نَعْمَلْ صَالِحًا. Oh Allah, we now have seen, we now believe in certainty, and we have heard. Oh Allah, take us back and we will work righteous actions. Inna muqinun. We now believe in certainty. It is too late, my brothers and my sisters, at that time. We seek refuge in Allah from being from those individuals. So I end this khutbah by saying, Ya ikhwati wa akhawati aslihu ma baynakum wa bayn Allah. My brothers and my sisters, rectify that which you have between you and Allah, your Lord, while you are still alive and you still have the opportunity. Aslihu ma baynakum wa bayn an-nas. Rectify that is between you and the people. Rectify while you still can. أصلحوا ما بينكم والإخوة وتسامحوا وتعفوا وتغفروا. And I say, rectify that which is between you, my brother and my sister. Forgive one another, pardon one another. Rectify it now before you will want to stand against one another on that great day. The husband, rectify it with your wife. Forgive her. Be merciful to her. The wife, forgive your husband. Forgive him. For indeed Allah Azza wa Jalla has brought you together for a reason. Allah Azza wa Jalla from His perfect wisdom brought you together, and you have children with one another. You have been with each other for decades in some situations. It is not the time now, after 20 years, and after having children now, that you show little affection and you show little forgiveness. Now is the time when we grow older that we are supposed to be more wise. Help one another be forgiven. My brother, the other brother that has wronged you, forgive him. Indeed, Allah has created us weak and we will fall short. But do not slay your brother because of a shortcoming. Help him. Help him to the best of your ability. For today, your brother is the one that is in that need. Tomorrow you will be that brother that may be in need. Wallahi, we only have each other. And we only have the Quran and the Sunnah and this beautiful religion that Allah has blessed us with. We are the family of Deen. Be merciful to one another. Rectify where we can rectify. For indeed, once we have gone, the regret is heavy upon the heart. If Allah was to take one of us and we haven't rectified it, then it will be very heavy upon your heart. So may Allah Azza wa Jalla rectify our affairs. May Allah Azza wa Jalla rectify that which is between us and Allah. May Allah forgive us of our shortcomings. May Allah Azza wa Jalla rectify our communities, our marriages, our children. May Allah rectify that which is between the brothers, the brotherhood and the sisterhood. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla keep us united upon the haqq till we return to Allah Azza wa Jal. Wa Allahu Ta'ala alam wa sallallahu barik ala nabiyyi Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een.